All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Trusted Rico signing in here. I know I said I was going to do a lot more YouTube videos, but man, it's been hectic not being in the store. But that's in between the cars and the shoes. That's just a whole nother conversation. What we got here is the first ever Q&A Ask Rico. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about a few things, about cars, the shop being closed, the website. So what I want to do is I got a few questions right here on my phone. Let's say roughly about 10 of them. I'm going to answer them the best of my abilities. What I want is I want Yessie, who we're going to have edited that, I want her to keep all the graphics right here, all right? I'll send her all the graphics and everything we posted here. But any other questions y'all got for the next video, drop them below. Or anything y'all feel about the answers I give, drop them below. Let's get started. First question we got here is actually from my homie Doty. The question he asked was, and this is on the phone, he asked me, he said, Rico, how do you feel not being in the store is going to affect you in the future? Good question. All right, so we haven't been in the store, we haven't been mobile for longer than a month. I had the stores for about 10 years. So to kind of quantify and figure out where the mobile is going to take me versus what the in-store took me is going to be very interesting to see. What I'm really going to do right now is just test the mobile market, okay? This is where Yessie's going to do her job, okay? So if you look right here, the trusted rent was $7,000. And we're just speaking about Houston right now. Was $7,000 a month, all right? My new rent, where we're at the food truck park, is $700 a month. That's a 90% discount, all right? What I was able to do with that 90% discount was able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of secure the future of Trusted. So what I was explaining to Doty was, when I was in Milwaukee, we paid the landlord in Milwaukee, I paid close to probably like $600,000 to $500,000 over 8 to 9 years. And I know for sure in Houston, I paid $445,000 in 5 years of renting. What the mobile has set up is, it has allowed me to own the building or apparatus that I'm in. Could be a shuttle bus, could be a food truck. I haven't got it yet. We got the food truck location for the park, which is very good because A, the park can be open from 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. The food truck park will bring us more customers. And then also, it's just cheaper. No rent. We got rent, but no electricity needed, no internet, no bill for the cameras. So I think going forward, it'll be good to see where the mobile takes us. And like I was explaining to Doty, if worst come to worst, it is hundreds of buildings I can buy, and there's thousands of buildings that I can rent if needed. Second question. All right. This question came from Instagram. This question was directly correlated to how the homie can order online. All right, easy. Boom. Right here, as you see, TrustedShop.com. That's the website. It is in the description below. Okay, you can go on the website and buy whatever you want. Shout out to my homie Mason who works for me. He's been uploading the website, running it flawlessly. Okay, the thing that's going to confuse people, and what I think he's confused by, is if you're a club member, you can reserve items before they go up on the website. I'm going to slow that down again. If you're a Trusted Club member, you can reserve the items online. You can reserve the items before they go online. Example, I'll make a list right here. Or yes, he will make a list right here. Okay, item A, posted on Instagram at noon. Let's say it's $100. If a member wants to buy that and says, hey, I'm a member, can you go ahead and put that on the website so I can use the 4 payments on my credit card? Cool. Oh, hey, I'm a member. I want to send Cash App, Apple Pay, Zelle to reserve that to ship or pick up right now. Cool. Oh, the third option, it doesn't sell. Then at 8 o'clock that night, it will go on TrustedShop.com where it's available online where you can order for pickup or to get shipped to you anywhere in the 50 states. Easy. Very easy, okay? Third question. How will I be able to pick up an item if I'm at work? Good question, all right? The reason I like that question is because we have been using Uber delivery, meaning that we have called the Uber. The Uber will take the item to the customer, and the customer will get the item from the Uber. It roughly costs about $15 to $20 for the customer to do this, but the customer gets it that same day. And also, if you were to get the product shipped, if you were in Houston, you will have to wait till we boxed it, taped it, took it to the post office, then the post office delivered it. If you just paid the extra $20, which would be $5 extra more than shipping, you can get it that day via Uber Connect. And just to answer this question, that's why I like doing a Q&A sometimes, I will be able to add that to the website going forward, where that'll be a selection. Shipping, delivery, which would be Uber Connect, Uber delivery, or pick up in store? I like this question. This is dope. Hey, Rico, I'm looking to open my own sneaker store. I see you closed your sneaker stores. What tips and tricks do you have for me? All right. This is probably going to be the longest question. And this is where, yes, he's going to really earn her money on this little section right here. Okay, so I'm going to walk you guys through this. I'm not going to look at the camera because I'm doing the math in my head and looking at the spreadsheets. So, homie, if you're going to open a sneaker store, the number one most important thing is your overhead. And we're going to say that's with any business. Sneaker store, daycare, convenience store, mechanic shop. You got to make sure you know how much money you spending on everything, okay? So let me break it down for you. What I was spending this time last year on all 3 stores, which was really 4 doors, but 3 stores. So each store averaged $7,000 a month for rent. So 7 times 3 is $21,000 a month, okay? Just to have employees in the store and have employees there to open and close, because I can't be in every location, we were running right about $3,000 per store for employee payroll. So that's 3 times 9, that's 9,000. So now you got 21,000, you got, I'm aiming with my hand, you got 21,000, you got 9,000, you got 30,000, boom, out the gate, all right? That doesn't include your insurance, that doesn't include your bills, that doesn't include the cost of buying items. Sometimes you can't factor that in your overhead because you are looking to make money off that. And sometimes that might not move for 3 to 4 months. But when you're going to open a sneaker store, I factor that into my overhead because I constantly have to buy shoes every day. I have to be prepared with a cashier cash ready. If somebody brings me 50 pair for $1,000, which is basically $20 a pair, I have to be ready to acquire that. So roughly 3 stores, I say roughly about a $20,000 a month buying budget, which is figuratively crazy, but you know, it works for the math. So now we got 21, 9, and 20. We got 50 grand a month. That's a rough number. Could be 60 some months, could be 65, could be 45, but that's 50 grand, okay? Now, once you're sitting down with your pen and paper, what you want to make sure that you're writing down is stuff that you don't have to pay as high as I did. Meaning when I first opened my first store, it was me, Tony Lomenzo. Thank God for Tony Lomenzo. In the beginning, he was working for Store Credit, college credits. He was just working with me because I didn't have the money. Then instead of paying somebody, I was working myself every hour. And then my original rent was $1,300 a month. So let's do that math. $1,300 a month, no payroll because I paid in Store Credit, so it's called about $1,000 a month. So they only put me at $2,300 a month. You see, those margins are different. I had to make $50,000 a year ago, and then 10 years ago, I only need to make $2,300. So what I've been looking at is, and this is just me helping you, brother, those numbers, move my hand. Those numbers are null and void. What that means is, as long as you're making money over what you're putting in your overhead, that is perfect. That is the key to business. Some people's rent is $100,000 a month, but they're making $140,000, so they're still making profit, you know? My thing is, and I'm really attributing this to the Nipsey Hussle, the marathon type situation. I spent $450,000 in 5 years in rent in Houston. I love Houston. Houston loves me. Trusted Houston probably will be a thing for another, let's say 20, 30 years. I'm going to use an example as athlete who've been here since the mid-90s is a good example of why shoes can last in Houston. People in Houston want to get fresh. People in Houston are going to buy the newest, coolest thing. People love Trusted Kicks. So Trusted Kicks is not going anywhere. What I had to learn and figure out for myself is if I paid $450,000 in rent in 5 years, right? Let's just say the building I'm in was $1 million building. Mind you, it had 3 units, my storefront and 2 other storefronts, and an apartment upstairs. But let's say that land and that property is worth $1 million. And we could be fair, even say $2 million, but $1 million will work for the math here. If it's worth $1 million, and I just gave the landlord $450,000 in 5 years, that means in 10 years, that'd be $900,000. I could have bought the building for that price. And then also what I learned is they made money off me, the other 2 storefronts, and the apartment. I'm not a hater. I'm a landlord. I own real estate myself. I know how it goes. I'm just breaking down to myself that if I'm going to be in Houston long term, I need to figure out something that A, I own, and B, is making me positive equity. What that means is if I go buy a building in Houston, and this mobile thing does not work, as long as the building is $1 million and I keep paying the rent that I've been paying the last 5 years, for the next 10 years, the building will be paid off. And then if I get the right real estate like they did, I'll have multiple doors. So what that means is Trusted Kicks can pay off $1 million in rent in 10 years. It's a fact. It's what I've been doing. It's what I paid. The math is there, even on a downturn of the market. So I think this is the longest question. I'm going to do one more after this. They're going to connect. But I think that if I start thinking like an owner, not the owner of a store, but the owner of a business, an owner of a conglomerate, what I really want to do is buy the building under one LLC. That move my hand, because yes, he's going to put this right here. I'm going to buy the building with one LLC. Then that LLC rents it out to my other LLC, which is Trusted Kicks. So Trusted Kicks is paying $7,000 a month rent. Trusted Kicks will be on a triple net lease. Trusted Kicks will have to pay 1 month of security deposit up front, because that's what Trusted Kicks would have did if it went to rent somewhere else. And then if I own the building, that kind of helps me grow my net worth. Meaning, if I get a building with 3 spots the same way they got, and Trusted's only paying $7,000 of the rent, that's the whole mortgage on $1 million building. Those other 2 units will be money in my pocket. So I know, to kind of wrap up that question, bro, I know you in the beginning. I got to this point doing what I've been doing for 10 years. As I look across the market, 99% of the people who rent their buildings, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just me being a disciple, being a student of the teacher, Nipsey Hussle, and the marathon. I gotta own my land. You know, I own a property in Milwaukee, sidebar. I pay $30,000 for it, put $170,000 in the cash. I put $200 into it total. It's worth $500,000. You know, so if I buy a building that's worth $1 million, and in 10 years I pay off $1 million, and it's worth $1.2 million, that means the building's paid off via Trusted, which is good, and I own it outright cash after 10 years, and then I made $200,000 in equity. The property went up $200,000. So I know I've been getting a lot of questions from everybody about that, but that's basically my plan. My plan is basically, you see my shoes back there. My plan is basically, if I'm going to be in store, make it about ownership. And before I go into store, make sure I try my hardest at the mobile, because just let's be honest, the mobile may be the best for me. No mortgage, cheaper rent, longer hours, can access more people. I can open up a mobile business in Houston, Dallas, Milwaukee, Atlanta in 5-6 months. It's a little bit harder when you open in brick and mortar stores, because more goes into that with build out and things like that. But I got one more question. I like the Q&A. I'm probably gonna keep it to 15-minute video. Also, before I get to the next question, I want to thank everybody who watched the first video. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna start uploading on YouTube with no real Instagram promotion. I know people on Instagram love me, and maybe I post it once or twice, but I'm not gonna flood Instagram with the YouTube content, because what I'm learning is I'm building a community here on Instagram that may not be the same as that community that I got on. I'm building a community here on YouTube that might not be my community from Instagram. So I appreciate everybody watching. Last question. Let's do it. All right, it's a car question. I like this one. Hey Rico, how are you getting these cars for so cheap? And how long have you been selling cars? I've been looking into getting into selling cars, but I don't have the space, the money to invest, and also I don't know much about cars. Let me know what you think, bro. All right. As everybody's seeing, I'm gonna try to do it like this. That's my phone somewhere. As everybody's seeing that I have been selling cars recently, to let everyone know, everybody who knows Big B, me and Big B been selling cars for years, all right? When I say years, I mean years. At least 9-10 years we've been selling cars, you know? So what I've been trying to figure out is how I can supplement my income, how I can do more with my time, all right? So what that means is, just the first thing, ladies and gentlemen, I love cars. As much as I love shoes, I love cars, okay? So it's always good to do things that you're passionate in, because that doesn't feel like work. But I'm gonna answer your question, okay? First thing, I go to dealers only auctions. What that means is you have to be a dealer to go to this auction. They have public auctions, they do, and you can find those via Google, especially in the Texas or Wisconsin or New York area. All my places I'm really at, they got public auctions, but I really deal with the dealership auctions. The way I'm getting the cars is I am buying the cars from the auction. Most of the time, honestly, we end up just wholesaling to other dealers because we sell them so cheap. I do post them on the pages and Facebook Marketplace just to go ahead and get somebody who may want to drive it. But to answer your question, bro, as I'm rambling, I'm going to answer your question the way I think I should answer it. What I do is I've been selling cars for 15 years. Now I picked it up more heavily because what I noticed is through the social media Trusted Kicks Houston, I could pretty much sell anything. Between my page and that page, I could sell anything. Before, when I was selling cars, I could only sell them on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Now with me having my own brand and Trusted having its own brand in Houston, cars move faster. I can't remember the end part of your question, but I'm gonna kind of rant on the cars a little bit. My favorite thing to tell people is, if you want to flip cars, you can buy cars on Facebook Marketplace. You can buy a lot of cars on Facebook Marketplace that have profit in the middle. Second thing, you don't have to be a mechanic to know how to resell cars. You really need to have some mechanical information in your head, like, oh yeah, that's oil burning. Oh yeah, no, bro, those tires are flat. But you don't need to be a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. I can work on cars, but I do not work on my own cars. The good thing about life is build you a team. Build you somebody who can work on your cars. Build you somebody who can drive you your cars once you go pick them up. Put it on social media that you're buying cars. But the last thing I do remember you asking me was about capital. I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's crazy. I'm always real with everybody. Capital is one of the main reasons people don't make it in the car game. Yes, he put some math right here for me. All right, let's say I buy a $1,000 car. Cool. $1,000 car, get it home. Let's say I need a tune-up, $200. Now we at $1,200, all right? Got the tune-up done. I got the title. I posted for sale. Let's say we posted for $2,800. The reason you want to post it for $2,800 because everybody always wants to talk you down on the car. Post it for $2,800. Somebody hits me up on Facebook, Instagram, and say, hey, I want to come take a look at it. They come take a look at it. They offer $2,000. Cool. In that equation, we made $800 profit. But that's not every time when you're buying cars, okay? What the thing that really happens is, and this happened to me the other day, I was at $1,200 into a car. Somebody came to test drive it. While he was test driving it, it overheated. Just think, I could have made the money, but it overheated. You know how much that cost me to fix? They wanted $1,000 to fix it. Now we know the car is only worth $2,000, $2,200. So do I fix it to get my money out, or do I junk it and sell it for $500, $700 and only cut my losses? And what I did was I ended up calling the mechanic. He came over, gave me a second opinion from the first mechanic. He fixed it for $300. Cars are variables that cannot be controlled. It's good profit, but you have to know a lot about cars. I'm gonna end this video with just, I guess, with a Rico tip. Two things. Most millionaires have 7 different streams of income. Also, you cannot be you could be a master of none when you really should be a master of one. What that means is my 7 streams of income are shoes and cars. All right, that's 7. All you see is 2 right here, though, right? That's all you see is 2. Yes, he put it right there. Shoes and cars, right? So yes, he under the shoes, put everything that I do to make money with the shoes. All right. We got the membership program, Trusted Club, that brings in income. That's one thing under the cars. So now I got 3 streams of income. All right. The fourth thing that I do is I post ads on my Instagram page for people who want to sell things. I don't really advertise it as much, but I do that. It's the 4th stream of income I have. The 5th stream of income that I have has to deal with, I would say it's like, I don't like to say I'm a consultant. Some people pay me for calls. Some people I help on the side with things. They pay me for my time. You know how it goes sometimes. So that's the 5th thing, my 5th stream of income. So I got 5 streams of income right now, which doesn't include the real estate, doesn't include the eBay, Amazon, all the other e-commerce things I do. What I like to show people is that those 7 incomes that I got, they all revolve around a few things. The clothes and the shoes are all the same. If anything goes on my eBay and my Poshmark, those things usually came from Trusted. If I post anything on Instagram for profit, that came through Trusted, shoes and clothes. If I post a car for sale, that came from the cars. My real estate, which is my rent, my positive flow income, I got that off Trusted. Meaning when I bought the building, I spent $30,000 I made out of Trusted, bought it, and then for the $170,000 worth of rehab, that was money I made from Trusted that I diverted to that. So I like to tell people, because I know I do a lot in theory to people, but everything I do is basically positioned around the cars and the shoes, okay? As long as I sell cars and sell shoes, I can buy. All right, camera died. I'm learning something about this GoPro. First thing, I need a mic. Second thing, if I run it too long, it overheats. So just drop below what kind of camera setup should I get. But I'm gonna end this video as it was said at the end when it cut out. As long as I sell cars and sell shoes, I'm gonna be able to buy real estate, and that'll help me in the future. Real estate will positive grow in equity. Also, real estate is cheaper where I'm from in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I'm benefiting off that. But I'm gonna wrap this video up with say that's my tip. Make sure you're doing everything you can do to make the money. If you can, to try to keep it all focused around 2 or 3 of the main things and then branch off there while you're trying to make the money. This is my first Q&A video. Like I said, I'm trying to separate YouTube and the social media sites. So if you follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I'm Trusted_Rico, TrustedKicksHouston for everybody who doesn't know. We're TrustedKicks on TikTok. Other than that, if y'all got any questions, drop them below. If you're not sub, please sub. Please give me a thumbs up. This is all stuff I'm learning that's cool about YouTube, stuff I hear people say when they're making their videos, so I gotta say it. Other than that, you know how I go. If it ain't trusted, it's busted. And don't forget, always get some money. Let's do it.